Hey, what's going on? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com. And I was going through the comments, and there was someone who left a comment saying they've been selling on eBay for about a year. They've had success. They've been doing $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And over the last couple of months, they've been out sourcing, and they've purchased, I think, over 300 items, and they haven't listed a single item. They just have no motivation to list. And I want to make a quick video and give you just a tip that I use when I go through those downturns. And it's normal, right? You're gonna have peaks and valleys. You're gonna have times when you're highly motivated and you're listing all the time and you're making a bunch of money and you're like, this is so easy. I don't understand why I, ever stopped listing in the first place. But it happens, life happens. Sometimes your energy levels are higher, lower, things are going on, relationships, so on and so forth. So I wanna share with you a hack that I utilize when I fall into this trap. And I wanna answer this, give this tip out to this person who's been kind of struggling with listings. So what I found works best is I need to start taking action on little tiny things. So for example, say I haven't listed in a month or two, which has happened before. I'm being 100% real with you. Sometimes I just fall into that trap of sourcing and, my death pile gets out of control and, it's so much easier to source. What I like to do is first and foremost, start doing little tiny things. Like for example, I'll go out and I'll find 10 items that I want to list. I'll pull them out of my, my inventory, and I'll start to do little things. Like for example, if I'm going to be listing a bunch of clothing, I'll just measure them all. So like I have an eBay listing template and I'll measure each one and just get the measurements. I'll clean each one. I'll put them on hangers. I'll get them all ready. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm starting to prep the listings that I'm going to list. The same with my Amazon business. There's been times where I haven't sent out a shipment in months, and I have all these books and DVDs and board games, and I'm starting to look things up, and I'm like, man, I should have sent these things out. I'll start to kind of collect them. I'll take out a box, I'll tape the box, I'll put 15, 20 items aside that'll fit in that box, and I'll start to kind of get ready to list. So I'm not actually going through the process of listing, but I'm getting it ready. I'm preparing it. I'm sort of like putting a game plan together. I'm prepping them. Maybe I'm using my Scotty peelers and my Goo Gone to pull the stickers off, or maybe with the clothing, I'm using a lint roller, just kind of cleaning it up, getting it all prepared. And sometimes it's those little tiny actions. Another thing you can do, which I've done, which is kind of set as like a spark to listing, is just going through my eBay store and running a sale for 30, 40% off, something ridiculous, just to get things moving. And just seeing those sales coming in a time where maybe things are slow, I don't feel like listing, kind of gives me that motivation. It kind of gets me excited. So I would say at the end of the day, do something really small. For me, it's kind of getting prepared. It's pulling items out of my inventory, putting them in a pile, maybe prepping them a little bit, measuring, cleaning them, getting them ready to list. Because sometimes when you sit down to list and you're like, all right, I'm going to list for the next 2 hours, an hour goes by and you haven't even started because you're having to find the items, choose the items you want to list. There's the preparation. Maybe you realize some of them are dirty. Maybe you realize some of them just have some issues, or it was supposed to be a lot and you can't find the other item part of the lot. So kind of getting yourself prepared, and I'm running out of breath because I'm climbing a hill right now, for me has helped to spark my ability to start listing again. And listing on eBay is just, it's a game of momentum. It really is. The more you list, the easier it is to list. The less you list, it's like a psychological game. It's just tough to start listing again because you're like, oh, it just seems so daunting. It seems like such a huge task. And I would even say, if you haven't been listing for a while, set a goal of just listing one item. Get one item listed and stop. Don't list anymore. And then the next day, maybe do another one or two. Maybe set a goal of listing 5 items during the week. Is it gonna make you a bunch of money? Probably not, depending on your goals, but you want to get that momentum going. And I talk about this all the time in my videos. I'd rather list, 1 to 2 items a day every day versus listing 1 day a week, 10 or 12 items. I want to get that momentum. I want to build that muscle. I want to build that habit. I want to build that ritual, that practice of listing every day, depending on your goals, of course. Listing could be in the form of selling on eBay, sending out a package to Amazon, to the warehouse. It could be Poshmark, Etsy. It could be whatever you're doing, right? Even for the drop shippers out there, that could just be, finding 5 items using your software to get those items listed up. So if you're having a hard time listing, and to the person who left that comment, hopefully this can help. Just get started, start small. You know, really what you're looking for is a spark. You need to find that spark. So if anyone else has any tips, drop a comment below. But with that being said, I'm running out of breath climbing this hill. Talk to you soon. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this and want more.